Hey guys, 2024 astrology. Let's get into it. First week of January 2024. What do we need to know? First of all, this is going to be a week where if you can, you might want to just lay low a little bit, kind of pull back, conserve some energy, not like run head first into whatever's going on right now. This is a very strange month we have coming up. If you guys watch my January overview, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but this is definitely a month where we are going to want to take our time moving into things, because by the time that we get to the end of the month, things are going to get a little bit crazy, a little bit wild. You might be feeling yourself spinning out of control a little bit. Very electrified environment. Passions and energy are likely to be running very high, and we're just primed for burnout, okay? Especially if we go too gung-ho into the beginning part of this month. And we do have a Venus-Saturn square going on this first week. Mars does also enter Capricorn, so these are both good indications that, maybe being a bit more to ourselves, just maybe focusing, getting organized, being productive somehow, and just being a bit more introverted or isolated, conserving our energy levels might really benefit us as we move forth through this month, which is going to likely be a very significant month and a very unusual month. We also had Mercury stationed direct on Monday on New Year's Day, you guys. Now, this did happen in a square to Neptune. So, although we are now in Mercury direct energy, I still don't think we are in the clear to really be moving forward with things, making major decisions about stuff, investments, commitments. I would still hold off and wait, honestly, probably through at least the 11th of January, because we have this very pesky Mercury-Neptune square that is just holding out in the sky. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all of it. Let's get into it, you guys. Let's look at how energy is coming together to open our year, to open our week, what perhaps we can expect as we move through this energy. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the day, where we are narrating the shift of the ages. If you guys stick with me until the end of the report, I have also done a collective tarot reading for us today as well. Whenever I'm doing these energy assessments, I like to tap the energy field from more than one modality just to get some additional energetic information, insight into what's going on out there. So there could be some messages in there for you as well. Let's get into the astrology, you guys. This is if you guys watched my January overview, I was talking about how honestly, this is kind of an epic month, and it's definitely kind of an epic year, at least in the course of the past 15 years. We probably haven't seen such significant astrology take place. We have Pluto changing signs, entering Aquarius this month in a conjunction with the sun, which to me is what is really making it a super, super big deal. And not only that, we have Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, stationing direct in the sky just a couple of days later. So this month of January is extremely Uranian and Aquarian in its energetic influence, which, as you guys know, we are currently transitioning into the age of Aquarius. So we are likely to start honestly, kind of seeing, feeling, and understanding that this transition has been underway in our physical reality somehow throughout the course of the month, and definitely throughout the course of this 2024 year, okay? 2024, I do believe it's going to be one for the history books, and we are starting it right out in this month of January in this quite huge, epic astrology. Pluto hasn't changed signs since 2008 when Pluto moved into Capricorn. That was also, a lot happened around that period of time too. So there could be some things happening, kind of closing the chapter or turning the page, or in reference to things that happened around the year 2008 as we are transitioning out of that energy right now. But it's just likely, honestly, to be an important and a significant and an impactful month, perhaps, but definitely the year of 2024. I'm calling it now, you guys. It's just a different type of year, okay? It's a different type of year. Like this is, I feel like, and it may not specifically be this year. I feel like we're sort of in kind of like a 10-year period maybe, but this period of time generally, you know, I feel like in the greater context of history will be kind of like an epicenter of time when there is just a lot of big change happening that's actually contributing to some type of evolution of humanity in some way, okay? So we've got big things in store for us throughout the course of this month. We also have some quite significant lunar cycles that are happening this month. The new moon is going to be happening in exact square to the nodes. This is going to be throwing it back to actually our new moon in Cancer that happened this past July, and the nodes of the moon. This is destiny and karma. Like things are happening according to a higher plan this cycle, but there's just likely, it's a cardinal cycle that we have coming up, like the action, the initiation of something new or some type of breakthrough or some type of breakdown or some type of death and rebirth process, destruction and creation is likely to go on in some capacity, either, you know, starting this month or in either throughout the course of this month or perhaps starting this month, unfolding throughout the course of the year, okay? As we move through the month, we have more Jupiter energy. That's what I'm saying, like energy is likely to be high. Our full moon is in an exact square to Jupiter, but we have this super strong Uranian energy, very strong Plutonian energy, Pluto, obviously emphasis as well, changing signs. And we close the month out with Mars and Mercury in like an extended 3-day conjunction together that's in a trine to Uranus. Like this is likely to just maybe like have us spinning, okay? Nerves are likely to be like quite fried or quite frazzled. Burnout is very likely as we get towards the end of the month. So I'm saying as we're moving through this first week, and the primary energy we're dealing with is like a Venus-Saturn square and Mars entering Capricorn, like slow and steady does the trick, right? Maybe like pulling ourselves back a little bit, being a bit more self-contained, a bit more self-restrained, maybe just like doing some solitary work, getting organized, getting our stuff together, maybe, you know, really spending some time introspecting or like self-reflecting on what it is we want or what changes we think we want to make. But, you know, like I said, even though we have Mercury direct in the sky now, Mercury stationed direct in a square to Neptune, and because Mercury stationed, of course, Mercury is like not moving for several days really, which is perpetuating the square to Neptune. And then when Mercury does start moving, Mercury's moving slowly, and this perpetuates the square to Neptune. And the exact square to Neptune between Mercury and Neptune is actually going to be happening on January 9th. And just as like the little sprinkle whipped cream cherries on top, the moon will be in exact conjunction to Mercury when Mercury makes the exact square to Neptune. So January 9th, you guys, again, like if you watched my January overview, I was saying like that is a day this month that we really want to proceed with caution. Really make sure that you're like checking and double checking and triple checking everything, that your expectations for like truth and honesty are quite low, that you're not just like falling for things or buying into things, that you are aware that things just may not be as they seem, that you're not being like, you know, hyper like self-critical out of like some perceived sense of like mental weakness or cognitive inability or something like that, not seeing things clearly. Huge distortion in the mental and information fields, literally like through the mid part of this month. So even though we do have Mercury direct energy now, we're still not out of the fog, okay? We're still not out of the haze. We still don't have the clarity that we, you know, normally might benefit from experiencing when Mercury stations direct. So definitely something to keep in mind as well, but likely to be just like a super hype month, okay? Very electrified energy. Uranus is the planet ruling awakening, right? And with Pluto entering Aquarius in a conjunction to the sun, like illuminating, sparking this energy like in a very powerful way. This is also like dealing with the subconscious. There could just be some things that are like clicking. We could experience some type of like mental energization, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I'm really struggling to, you guys. I'll be totally honest. All these Neptune squares, especially the Mercury retrograde Neptune square energy as a Gemini ascendant myself, has been really interfering with my ability to articulate things properly. And I cannot figure out how to say the word energizing, whatever. I don't know what I was even just trying to say, but the Mars, the Uranian energy likely to be energizing our mind, or our mental capacity in such a way that might have us like waking up to something, or just feeling reinvigorated, or electrified in some type of a way as we move towards the end of the month. So that's all coming, but I'm saying pace yourself, ease into things. There really could be sort of this urge to kind of hit the ground running this month, although I do think with the Venus square Saturn energy and also Mars Capricorn, that's both Venus and Mars kind of giving Saturn vibes. Venus squaring Saturn, this can be more of like an aloof energy. It can make us feel sort of like socially isolated or socially alienated, like we can't really relate to anybody. Saturn is, control and limitation and restrictions and judgments and stuff like that as well. And of course, Venus is relatability and what we value and what we love and what we desire. This can also bring sort of like reappraisals of the relationships in our lives in terms of like the value that they are contributing to our lives and stuff. But a lot of times we just feel like we can't connect to people, we can't relate to people. This is also a more like introverted, like self-isolating energy. We can kind of feel like, we're sort of on an island by ourselves, and it can just, it does well to, we are best suited in this energy to use it to, again, like self-reflect, like take that inventory, figure out, what is serving us now and what is not, and who is serving us and who is not. And, the way that we are perhaps relating to value or to money or to our material world as well. Like, is there an adjustment we need to make along those lines? Do we need to pull back a little bit? That type of stuff. Okay. And then with Mars entering the sign of Capricorn, this is also, Mars is our energy levels. Saturn is control and limitation and focus and concentration. And another thing, next week, actually, Mars in Capricorn is going to be coming into trine with Jupiter in Taurus. We're gonna have an Earth sign trine between Mars and Jupiter. This is huge energy, and this is like, universe, cosmos, energetically supporting the success of our endeavors, of our work, of what we're putting our energy into. And it also can really inflate egos. It can give us like a tremendous amount of like self-confidence, and we can feel sort of like limitless in this energy. And we're really going to want to watch, again, as we were dealing with in the month of September, a tendency to like overdo, overextend, overcommit, overpromise. Okay, definitely something to keep in mind. But this trine to me is also indicating, especially as we set up this week, that, the organization efforts that we do put into things, or, the productivity that we, get involved in, or like the way that we're getting stuff together, like if we can put energy into just sort of reorganizing our life or restructuring things for ourselves somehow, or just like working towards a goal. Also, Capricorn is a very goal-oriented sign, very project-oriented sign. Our efforts are working in our favor now, despite still, perhaps a lack of clarity, or just feeling maybe confused about something, still maybe feeling like we are, I don't know, like we're not sure what to do. Maybe we still don't know what choice or decision to make about something. But, here's another thing. Even though we are in this very like Mercury Neptune square energy, Mercury also did station in Sagittarius in a trine and sextile to the nodes of the moon. So there is, despite the blurriness of things right now, they are happening for a reason. Things are happening for a reason. Things are not exactly what they seem. This month is priming us for change that is honestly maybe like kind of unprecedented, definitely unpredictable, and we really do need to trust the like higher unfolding plan right now. We need to look for silver linings and things. The blessings that are coming through right now this month are largely going to be in disguise, and we won't come to understand them until later. But the fact that Mercury did station, in the trine to the North Node, there is definitely like a divinely aligned component of however things are falling into place right now and whatever's happening right now. Again, so Wait if you can. Don't feel it if you do not need to make a certain, decision or choice or investment. If you don't need to ask a question or say something right now, if you don't need to assert yourself, there's a good chance that the answers that you need or things will sort of like come to you or fall into place in kind of a miraculous way that in retrospect makes perfect sense as we move forward throughout the course of the month and throughout the course of this year. So, this is a period of time where like things are happening and they may make no sense as they're happening, but it could be like something that needs to happen so that like a chain reaction can occur, so that like several events down the line can like put things into a proper alignment so that like some certain path or destiny or purpose can unfold. You know what I mean? It's like the dominoes or the gears are turning or falling just right in order to create these cause and effect reactions, aligning paths and activating destiny as we are in this very like epicenter energy of transitioning ages, and the cosmic blueprint moving us into the age of Aquarius is highly, highly, highly active at this point in time. It literally like sit back and enjoy the show, right? Like that's another thing, get your popcorn, try not to take things too seriously right now. We do have a lot of Saturn energy coming in, Capricorn energy coming in throughout the course of this month as well. New moon in Capricorn, of course, that is always going to lend like a more serious tone to things, but the more lighthearted we can be, the more we can view all of the world as a grand show that's playing out right now, and just try to do our best to play our role to the best of our ability, activating, our personal vessel, spark, life force, destiny, whatever, to contribute to the, the evolution of the consciousness on the planet right now. And then just kicking back and seeing how things go, doing our best to get in the flow of the future as it unfolds before us right now. But take it easy this week if you can, you guys. As said, get organized, be productive, get things done, realize things are kind of just how they are right now. A lot of is honestly out of our control. Don't set your expectations too high. Mercury square Neptune. Nothing is real. Don't believe anything anybody's selling out there. Double check everything, triple check everything. Realize that everybody's delusional to some extent right now. And we've got the sun today at 13 degrees of Capricorn on Wednesday, the Sabian symbol of that degree. A fire worshiper meditates on the ultimate realities of existence. Yes, Venus square Saturn this week. Introspection, self-analysis, reevaluating what we value and what and how we want to relate to ourselves and the material world and the relationship components of our lives going forward. We have the earth at one hand slightly flexed with a very prominent thumb at 13 degrees of Cancer today, always opposite the sun. That symbol to me always always makes me want to also just kind of stop, pause, halt, maybe pull it back a little bit, not pushing too hard, right? So that's my personal guidance for the week, advice for the week, based on the way that these energy patterns seem to be coming together. Also on Wednesday today, I have neglected to say that we are in quarter square moon energy. The moon in Libra is squaring the sun in Capricorn. That is always can bring up more of a conflict-ridden energy. There could be some internal conflicts that we're dealing with as a result of that today with the moon in Libra, perhaps what we would like to do, the pleasure that we would like to engage in versus duties, responsibilities, work, what we know we need to do, and, pleasure versus progress, you know what I mean? What we need to do versus what we would like to do, maybe bringing up some internal conflicts. It can also bring, of course, conflicts in we're talking about Libra, we're talking about Capricorn. This could be in relationships or in a work environment type of situation as well. And again, if you find yourself up against, choosing pleasure or choosing productivity in this energy, I'm saying it's best to conserve energy and stay focused on getting things done this week and not so much on, trying to put ourselves out there and do all types of stuff, because universe is going to be putting you somewhere and doing all kinds of stuff with you, most likely, whether you're prepared for it or not, as we get towards the end of this month. So, you know, that's just how I feel like things are coming together, and that's what I have to say for our astrology today. Let's get into the tarot now for a minute. We got, you know, it's interesting. It's interesting how the message is coming together for our tarot cards. They're actually also giving some of the same exact vibes that the astrology is giving. The first card that we had coming out of the deck today was the Seven of Cups. This is traditionally a card of not knowing what to do, feeling a bit disoriented, feeling a bit confused, maybe a bit in a haze, a bit in a daze, lots of options, not really sure which direction to go or which one to pick, a sense of generalized maybe disorientation, and maybe just sort of being like caught in a place of like stasis, maybe not knowing, you know, what the best choice is. And this is, to me, like very representative of the Mercury square Neptune energy that I keep talking about. And it's also interesting because then on the back of the deck, we also had the High Priestess. These two cards, and then I will tell you also, this was an interesting reading for me because these were the two cards that were facing me after the shuffle. All the rest of the cards on the table were face down. So it's like, we're not necessarily even, we don't need to know, okay? That's another thing. Like, if you're confused about something, if you don't know what to do right now, even if you feel like there's, you know, some type of urgency where you need to figure something out, like I said, if you can, you know, if you can wait, if you can hold off, like there's a necessary level or layer of mystery for some reason, somehow. And, you know, the answer will be revealed to you when the time is right. But for now, it literally, like with the Seven of Cups coming out upright, face up, and the High Priestess on the back, it's like something is shrouded, like something is cloaked, and we don't necessarily have the clarity to, or the need maybe even, to figure out at this exact time what the answer to that is. It's funny because under the High Priestess on the back of the deck, we also had the Devil. So it's like there could be a very strong urge or a very strong desire to figure it out, to understand, like to find the answer to something, to find the truth about something. But things may just generally be clouded right now. And again, like the distortion in the informational field, but there's could be, I don't know, just like a reason for it for some reason. But then look at this. Then we had two sets of cards come out together, and then I had a single card come out as well. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. This is telling me like we don't need to worry about it. Like we don't need to know. It's almost like behind the scenes, what we've been working on, or the energy that we've been putting in, or the seeds that we've been planting, or the intentions that we've been setting are in the process of turning into something beautiful and something abundant and something fulfilling. It's like what we've been working towards is working its way towards us behind the scenes, and perhaps in a much better way than we've even expected. And then these other two cards that we had coming out, we had the Five of Wands, and then we had the Four of Swords in reverse. To me, you know, with the Five of Wands, this is a card about like facing some type of conflict, right? Like some type of situation, like being on the defense about something perhaps, but like it's a conflict oriented energy. And the Four of Swords in reverse, the Four of Swords is about taking a pause, right? Taking a rest. It's about like having made it through something and being at like a recovery period. With the Four of Swords in reverse, it's like, again, and these cards were flipped over. It's like there's also could be like some conflict going on behind the scenes that may be being handled by like a higher power right now. The last card that we had coming out like on its own was the Ten of Wands in reverse. So with the Five of Wands, the Four of Swords in reverse, and then the Ten of Wands in reverse, the conflicts that are being resolved right now, even if we're unaware of it, even if they're happening behind the scenes, they're actually leading to the removal of some type of burden that we've been carrying, or some type of blockage that we've been like up against, some type of like boundary that we've been like running into over and over, or something that has been like obscuring our vision, some weight that we've been carrying or something like that. So, you know, again, like, this is a good week to just focus on the task at hand, like, do what we can, get organized, like, figure out how to streamline things for ourselves and make our lives or our schedules or something more productive, more effective, more efficient. But we don't need to really, I feel like, be like trying to solve our problems this week, even if we feel like our problems need to be solved this week, unless of course there's some major sense of urgency behind it. I do feel like things are kind of going to reveal themselves to us, or, you know, we'll get the information we need, or the right people will come in somehow. But like, again, like, we don't need to fear, even if we feel like we're in the dark about something, because behind the scenes, conflicts are being resolved, burdens are being removed, obstructions are being lifted, and we're actually in a process of, you know, growth that is going to lead to something ultimately much more fulfilling right now, even if we're not seeing like the fruits of, you know, whatever we've been working towards at this point of time right now. So it's like, don't give up. Things are going to get much easier. Again, like, things are happening behind the scenes. Like, we had all the cards flipped over, right? The 7 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, the 5 of Wands, the 4 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, or the 10 of Wands in reverse. They're all flipped over. So like, that's what's going on behind the scenes while we are in the dark trying to figure out like what the heck is going on. So that's what I feel like the tarot message is saying today, if it applies to you. I hope that's helpful. Let's grab one more card now. Synchronicity card, God, Spirit, Universe. One beneficial extra piece of information we can take with us this week as we go through the energy entering our new year. What do we need to know? What mantra should we sort of tell ourselves? What guidance would benefit us at this point in time? Ask and ye shall receive. I don't know, like, this is I don't get this card often. And all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. Matthew 21:22. This is the truth. All good is unfolding for you right now, and it will become a visible manifestation in your life very soon. What was I telling you, you guys? This is like exactly that, right? Like, behind the scenes right now, 10 of Wands in reverse, like some type of obstruction or burden is being lifted or removed somehow. Like, there's an active effort to like dispel some type of like conflict that could be going on behind the scenes, something that has been like blocking progress or working against us. And it's all like contributing to our process of growth and abundance right now. So this is the truth. All good is unfolding for you, and it will become a visible manifestation in your life very soon. I'm going to take it. I'm going to go with it. So that's what I'm going to say, you guys. Message from the stars, message from the cards. I hope you guys liked it. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, you guys. Share it with your friends if you think that they would enjoy this type of astrology content as well. Leave me comments. I am so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for being here. If you are having experiences that line up with what I'm talking about in these videos, please let me know in my comment section below. It's very relevant. I really appreciate knowing what's going on with you guys out there, so thank you so much for that, and come back with me on Friday, you guys. We do have a relatively quiet weekend, I will say, but we are gearing up. I mean, this really is our this really is our only quiet time this month. Like I said, you know, moving into next week, we're going to have a Mars-Jupiter trine that is going to expand and blow up these energy levels. And we are moving right towards this new moon that we have coming up that's going to happen on the 11th, which is a powerhouse of energy. So we got a lot to talk about, you know, as we are heading into next week. Take it easy, and I will see you guys on Friday. Have a beautiful next couple of days, and until then, bye guys.